10 inventions that were made by mistake.
1. Chocolate chip cookies. Could you imagine a world without chocolate chip cookies? Luckily, we can all thank Ruth Graves Wakefield, co-owner of the Toll House Inn, when she decided to bake some chocolate cookies for her guests. To make the cookies chocolate, Wakefield decided to chop up a block of semi-sweet chocolate from Nestle, hoping that the chunks of chocolate would melt and spread evenly. Instead of spreading evenly as she had hoped, out came what are now known as chocolate chip cookies. 2. X-rays. Did you know, X-rays were accidentally invented after trying to create light bulbs? In 1895, German scientist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen was trying to create light bulbs by experimenting with cathode ray tubes. But then he noticed something interesting. When the cathode tubes were placed inside a cardboard box, they continued to emit light even though the cardboard should have stopped it. He then realized that the tubes were not only emitting light, but were also passing invisible rays that could penetrate solid matter. Soon after human experiments proved successful, X-rays became available in the medical field to check for broken bones. 3. Potato chips. Crispy, salty, and savory. What more could you want in a snack? Thanks to a New York restaurant customer complaining about the fried potatoes being too soggy and thick, Chef George Crumb got so upset that he cut the potatoes into extremely thin slices, fried them, and then sprinkled on some salt. I bet Crumb would have never thought in a million years that he would invent one of the world's most popular snacks, potato chips. 4. Matches. Stirring a pot of chemicals in 1826, John Walker pulled his wooden stir stick out of the pot and tried to wipe the glob of chemicals stuck on the table. Instead of wiping off, the chemicals ignited. As a result, matches were born. 5. Microwave oven. If it wasn't for a candy bar melting in Percy Spencer's pocket in 1945, the microwave oven may have never been invented. An engineer at Raytheon, Spencer was experimenting with a radar-related vacuum tube when he noticed the candy bar was melting in his pocket. Using his newfound knowledge, he later patented the microwave. 6. Superglue. During World War II, Harry Coover, a chemist for Eastman Kodak, was tasked with creating a suitable plastic for gun sights. Instead of succeeding with his task, he instead accidentally created cyanocrylate, now known as superglue. But its potential wasn't realized until almost 9 years later when Coover was working to develop heat-resistant polymers for jet planes. 7. Post-it notes. Spencer Silver, a chemist for 3M, failed to make heavy-duty adhesive for the aerospace industry. The only thing he could make was a temporary adhesive, not strong enough to hold much weight. Lo and behold, the temporary adhesive was good for something, holding bookmarks in place. Thus, removable notes were born, now known as post-it notes. 8. The Slinky. Who knew the Slinky was accidentally invented by a naval engineer? Engineer Richard James while he was trying to develop a spring that would support and stabilize sensitive equipment on ships. While he was working on his project, one of the springs fell off a shelf and kept moving. As James watched the spring continue to move, a light bulb went off in his head. After he decided it would make a great toy and his wife came up with the name, the Slinky was first sold in late 1945. 9. Velcro. While Swiss engineer George de Mestral was hiking with his dog, he noticed little burrs sticking to both his pants and dog. After looking at the burrs a little more closely, he noticed there were small hooks on the burrs that would cling to anything that was loop-shaped. With this new discovery, Mestral recognized the potential for a practical new fastener, now known as Velcro. 10. Safety glass. While working in the lab in 1903, French chemist Edouard Benedictus dropped a glass flask. Instead of shattering into a million pieces, it surprisingly shattered but didn't fall apart. Later, he discovered that the flask had recently been filled with cellulose nitrate, which provided a protective layer. Today, safety glass is used in many applications using a similar solution to the cellulose nitrate to make it shatterproof.